Today we're going to be replacing the distributor cap and rotor on this 1997 LX450, aka Land Cruiser. This one doesn't look too bad, but just for preventative maintenance, we're going to go ahead and replace it. In the other videos, we walked through how to replace the spark plug wires, the coil wire that goes to the coil, all of the spark plugs, and also there's a couple other videos for the PCV valve and a few other maintenance items on these trucks. Let's go ahead and get to it. So if you see here, it's held on by 3 screws, one here, one right there, and then one underneath here. First thing we're going to do is unplug the wire from the distributor just so we can put it out of the way. Then we're going to, one by one, unplug all of the wires that go to the spark plugs and the coils. If you have aftermarket spark plug wires, you really need to pay attention to which one's which. Maybe even wrap a piece of masking tape around them and label them. With the factory wires, they're actually all labeled 1 through 6. So I'm not going to bother labeling them or anything like that. I'm just going to pull them off, put them out of the way up here, and then we can start getting the distributor cap off. Now that we've got all the wires off, you can see you've got plenty of space here. We're going to use a socket like this with an extension on it and a ratchet. It's an 8mm socket you're going to need for these. And we're going to get all 3 of those bolts off. 1, 2, and 3 at the bottom. So now we've got it off, you can see what's behind it. Here is the distributor cap. This is actually in really good shape. Actually, this is aftermarket OEM. It's not a Toyota one. I'm putting a Toyota cap back on. Use factory parts, guys. They're not very expensive. They're generally about the same price as what you would get from AutoZone or O'Reilly. If you can see, there's a little bit of wear on the contacts. Not a whole lot. And there's the rotor. We're going to replace that guy as well. Doesn't look all that bad, but we're going to replace it also as part of this. So the rotor on these just pulls right out. There's no screw or anything that holds it in. You just pull straight out and it'll come out. If you have trouble, try putting a flathead screwdriver right here and just very gently prying it out. Let's see if this one will come out. Yeah, there it is. And make sure you're paying attention to which way it's oriented so you put the new one on the same direction. So there we go. We're gonna get the new one. Yeah, this is not Toyota either. We're gonna put genuine Toyota parts back on here. Here are the new parts. The rotor assembly is part number 19102-61240. And the cap assembly is part number 19101-66010. Let's go ahead and get these on. So first we're going to get our new rotor on here. It was facing downwards before, so we want to line it up with the groove in the shaft here. There we go. There's the focus. We want to line it up with the groove in the shaft based on the flat spot you see right there on the bottom. I'll get it on there, lined up correctly, and then we want to push it on. And this one being an OEM genuine Toyota part, it went on really nice and simply, and it'll pull off much more easily as well. I hate aftermarket parts. Next thing we're going to do is get the distributor cap on. So one thing that's different with the OEM cap has these captive bolts that are in there. They don't pop out, so you can flip this thing upside down, right side up. The bolts stay in there. I really like those. So we're going to get this lined up and get it installed as well. I went ahead and put a new O-ring on there too. Whenever you're putting a new cap on, make sure to replace the O-ring as well. So let's get it on. So let's get this guy lined up. There we go. Right there. I'm going to get a couple of the screws started just by hand to hold it in place, and then I'll come back with a socket and a ratchet and just snug them. You don't want to over tighten these. They're fairly small screws. Now that that's on there, I'm going to start at the bottom and get the bottommost plug wire on, get these two outside ones on, then the coil wire goes in the middle, then these two, this one, and very last, I'm going to connect the distributor plug back in there. A little bit of dirt in there. I'll get that out. And then we should be all set and ready to go and have a slightly better running truck. Plug wires are all back on, and if you didn't hear me on a rant on the video where I was doing the spark plug wires, please, please, please get OEM Toyota genuine spark plug wires. They're all the exact right length. All the clips are rotated specifically to fit correct so that your wires aren't each cocked the wrong way. They come pre-clipped with all of these in the right lengths. Everything fits up perfect. There's zero guesswork. Buy OEM wires, please. All right, let's plug this guy in. And while you're doing that, make sure the distributor wire, you route it underneath the plug wires. That way, if you ever need to get to the plug wires, they're on top, easy to get to. All right, nice firm click. That's it, easy as that. Your truck should run better. Keep all this stuff freshened up as you keep putting more miles on your truck, and it'll always keep you happy as well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, and see you next time.